So let's talk about this with a former police lieutenant for Nassau County, New York, and founding member of the NYPD's K-9 unit, Michael Gould. Always great to see you, Michael. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Good morning, Laura. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to get into this whole thing about the mixed DNA evidence taking months to process. I mean, we do know that it takes time, right? We've talked about a lot of other cases together, but walk us through why it would take so long. Everybody wants this to be solved like it is on television. We know that that doesn't happen. It does take time. But then I even heard somebody say, possibly years too. So we hope that there's, somewhere in the middle and a shorter timeline with this.
Yeah, Laura, so that's factually correct. Mixed DNA in general is a very complicated science. Fortunately, it's evolving as we speak, and it's getting better and better. But when we're relying solely on DNA, we have no other theories in this case. We have no suspects. We don't know if this is a lone actor. So there's very little that law enforcement is sharing with us, rightfully so. I'm very optimistic that behind the scenes, the FBI, law enforcement, has other things going on simultaneously. But on the topic of mixed DNA, absolutely. This could take weeks, months, or years, or never develop. Frankly, it's not a smoking gun by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. And this whole thing about mixed DNA in a home would be something that we might expect. It might mean that there is a female and a male identified in this mixed DNA. We don't know. Also, I want to note what that DNA comes from. We don't know. It's not like somebody came in and left a big old fingerprint. I mean, we're talking about something that was picked up, that has been analyzed, that's been sent to this Florida lab. And that is something that we might expect. We do know, and I want to make mention, Michael, that the family has all been swabbed. The people that worked for Nancy Guthrie, the people that took care of her, that took care of the pool and the gardeners and all of that, everybody has been swabbed. This is something different. But we would expect maybe mixed DNA, right?
Absolutely. So, Laura, DNA is all around us. Touch DNA is all over. So, if you had a dinner party or you had people over that you may have forgotten about. So, again, my biggest concern here is when we go down. I'm not going to call this a rabbit hole, but we have gone down the video where we were going to get some definitive information about that. We had the glove with the DNA. We thought definitively, well, not definitively, but we thought that we were going to get something there. So, unfortunately, as far as we know, law enforcement is at an impasse. They've gone down the leads. They're sharing with us, and we have nothing. The facts of this case, Laura, if you think about it, haven't changed significantly at all from the 4 weeks. We know that Nancy was taken from her home. That's it. We don't really know much other things. There are no other theories. That's why you see volunteers quite correctly looking for their neighbor, because we have nothing else to go on. There are no other leads to go on.
Right.
So this is confounding. Look, if I would have bet that this thing would have been solved with digital evidence 2 weeks ago myself, but I'm wrong, and it's kind of humbling. We live in a society where we think the FBI, everybody is on top of this, so the case is going to be solved with a snap of the finger. So it's a little humbling to me in law enforcement, knowing all of the powers of the government haven't really advanced this case at all.
Right. Well, listen, we know it's going to take time, and the biggest piece of evidence, the biggest clue that came out is that doorbell camera video that we're all watching. It needs to continue to be circulated. So if somebody out there, not everybody watches the news every second of the day, and that's what we've been saying. It needs to be shown on social media, maybe on billboards, anywhere in this area. We'll continue to keep this front and center. Michael Gould, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.